So I found myself back in the hole, back in isolation, back in segregation. But this time, at least I would find out when I was getting out. The amount of time I got this time in the hole was only 2 weeks. The old timer kept it real at the hearing because you have to go for a hearing when you catch a charge in prison. And he told the institutional or hearings officer, which is like the institutional judge, that he did swing first. Um, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? I was back on the yard again. This time I was in four building. And four building, the pod they put me in was like a step up program pod, if that makes sense, which it's like you're out the hole, but you don't get all your privileges. Around this time, they had started this thing where, depending on the type of pod you were in, that's when your power got cut off. And in the dorm I was in, the power got cut off at 8 o'clock. You were locked in at 7. That means there was less time to use the phones, less time to watch TV, less time just be human. It was a bad combination when people are trying to, you know, be distracted about the reality of being in prison, and then you cut the power and they have to sit in the dark with their thoughts. Rec was limited. Get an hour at best a day, and then you'd have to rush back, try to take a shower to get the chow. It was just chaotic. It didn't work. And after serving about a month in that pod, I was moved officially back into full GP, full general population. And that was cool. That was the beginning, I guess, right in this moment was when I started to meet a lot of the people that today I still call brothers. Um, I got out the hole. I met some good people through, or some good brothers in there that I had known, or through some brothers that I had known. Because prison is a small world, man. It's one of those things where your name is your currency, your name is your weight, and if your reputation is good or bad, it's known anywhere you go. And if it's being talked about your name on one compound, then they probably know you on the next. It is what it is, at least where I was at. Um, I was able to get a job back. No, I ended up working in laundry, and I was working as sewing, repairing like jeans and the blue tops that we would wear at the prison. And it was decent money, which is funny. When I say decent money, it was 45 cents an hour, which that's the highest pay rate outside of what they call an enterprise job that you could have on an institution. Um, I was blessed to have that job. I'm not gonna lie. When I was at work, I had a parlay, and the dude that was in the cell with me, white dude by the name of Timmy, cool dude. Not only was he the guy that did a lot of this ink, his tattoo work on me, but he was running a parlay for me when I was at work. I had residual income in prison. It was crazy. I had the store box. I was good, man. But here we go again. A parlay is a gambling enterprise. It's something that guys are able to gamble on football, basketball, etc. by basically trying to determine at least four, we'll just say 4, 5, or 6 correct picks in regards to sports bets. Meaning, I think Kirk Cousins is going to throw for only 100 yards this game, or over under 300, right? Things like that. And it was good. It was lucrative. If you won whatever that dollar amount you put down, if you put down $3 and you did a pick four, you would get 5 times that amount. That would turn into $16. If you did a pick five, you get 5 times that amount. It'd be 20, and the odds would go up. If the bigger dollar amount you put down, if you put $20 down in commissary and you hit, you get 80 back on a pick four. It was a big risk for me, but a lot of times guys didn't hit. I had to get right one time. They had to get right at least 4 times in order to get the money. And it was lucrative. And it got so lucrative, I had parlays in all the dorms, essentially, along with runners or people that would run the tickets back and forth, collect picks, collect tickets from guys that wanted to gamble that night by a certain deadline. Usually 6 p.m. was my deadline, or 5 p.m. because that was the end of chow. And everybody would get their tickets through me through the chow hall workers. And I'd get the tickets back. I would look at the master sheets, And I would sweat the games, and I would wait, and I would knock people off, and I'd collect their money, and it was good. And every now and then somebody would hit, and they'd tear my head off, and it was what it was. But I remember I paid my debt. I'd walk out there the next morning with a bag full of commissary so everybody could see it, and it made them want to gamble with me more. Man, those are the times. Not that I missed that thing, but there's a certain rush when you're able to still make things happen in a situation where it's not supposed to. One of my runners, though, man, totally unrelated incident, and I don't want to use the word runner, but a guy that was passing out tickets for me got to fighting with a guy, his cellmate. And when the police came to lock him up, shake him down, they found the parlay tickets, and my name was on them, my nickname. I still to this day don't know why he put my actual nickname. We had worked out a system where everybody had a certain number assigned to them. So whatever the number is, that's where the tickets had to get to, or that's where the money needed to get to. If a dorm needed more commissary to cover debts, then we would say send it to number 83, and we knew that was dorm 2B, etc., etc. It was just a code, but for whatever reason, he had my name, and when the cops came down to pack up his stuff because they were in a fight, they seen my name. They immediately rushed down to where I was at in a totally separate building. I was minding my business, eating my commissary, chilling. And then they said, "Hey, can you come over here for a second?" I said, "What's up?" They said, "Go ahead and put your hands behind your back." I said, "What?" They said, "Because you're going to the hole again."